This video will show you how to create a real-time API out of Konnektive CRM into Listflex list management software. We have a Konnektive account right here, and we have API instructions from Listflex. What we need to do first is we need to go to Admin, go to Export. The first thing is you'll see two columns here. Export profiles and profile routing. Export profiles is sort of it's the API of sorts. You have to create the API here first, and then route it through a specific campaign, or route a campaign versus a specific API. So it's a two-step process. So let's create this first. This plus icon right here. Enter your API name. Let's say Listflex. It's going to be a postback type. Create, and there it is. So now we need to edit it. The first thing you got to do here is copy and paste this URL from your API documentation. Copy, paste, there it is. And you want to export this thing every 10 minutes, thus creating kind of a real-time API post. So let's put 10 in here. And don't forget to hit this update button, because it's not going to save it. If you hit this update, we'll get to this side in a second. So let's update it. So now we have the API endpoint here, and how often the API actually is invoked. So now we need to map the fields for the API. Click this plus sign once again on this side already. Now export name. So what that is these names right here. This is what that export name refers to. So the first thing here is API, second is list ID, and so on and so forth. So let's alright, let's do this. API key. Okay, excuse me. Copy this. Paste. It's static. Why? Because the value is supplied by Listflex right here. We'll copy this as well. And put the static value in. Create. So now you have this static field right here called API key. The second static field that you need to put in is list ID right here. I'm not going to copy it, I'm just going to type it out. Simple enough. And the list ID in this case is 428. So again, it's a static field, 428. That's it. Those are the only two static fields that you need. And those are for Listflex to identify exactly which list you're trying to post data into. The rest of the fields will come from Konnecktive. So let's say, for instance, we're just trying to post first name and date created into Listflex, and this for a very simplistic example. So we'll continue to hit this plus button. In this case, we're trying to post F name, so first name. So again, here we'll put this value, the value from the API documentation, F name. Except that in this case, it's not static; it's actually mapped to first name right here within the Konnektive CRM. So Konnecktive knows what value to map to this F name. We hit create, and there it is. So now we're going to be exporting first name as F name right here. And the other thing, the other value is I believe we wanted to do date created. So in here, find date created, date subscribed. There you go. So let's copy this one. It's a little bit too long to type. Paste. Date created right there. Create. Okay, perfect. Here we hit update to save it. That's how it works. Let's go back to export, and let's just for sanity, let's find this again. Find this export profile again. Listflex, hit edit, and make sure that everything that we put in the previous step is still there. Alright, well, let's go back to export. Alright, so the final step is in the right column. Now you have to create a routing for it. Profile routing, that is. So hit this plus icon. Find the profile that you just created, and it's going to be API card demo. Let's see, where is it? Listflex. There you go. So that's the profile that we were working on for the past couple of minutes. Customer type. Now, what type of customer are you trying to post? Partial, decline, new sale, upsell, cancel, or recurring orders. Now that should be up to you. I mean, I'll just go with partial on this one. And campaign, of course, you need to map the campaign whose customers you want to post. So I'm just going to use AAA test in this case, and that's it. You hit create, and it should be here somewhere. Oh, there you go. Listflex, partials, AAA test are being routed into this API right here, which in turn posts stuff into Listflex. I hope it makes sense, and send questions to Sean Stonner, I suppose.